Okay, everybody, it is me, Gregory Mannarino, and you know what today is? I'm going to tell you what today is. It's a beautiful day. Every day is lovely, honestly, regardless of the freak show, and I have a lot to go over with you. I've got this little piece of paper filled up here with things I want to talk about. Can you see that? Look at my lovely handwriting. Very important stuff, and it's just out there. Some of it's going to probably crack you up, and I hope I don't have a freaking meltdown. So here's the story here. Let me just back up. So yesterday I got a surprise visit from Dan. Dan of I Allegedly. Most of you know who this guy is. So Dan comes here with his best friend David. Two of the greatest guys. Honestly, we sat down here in my yard. We had a really nice conversation. But not just that. Not just that. He brings me something. Him and Dan and David. Look at that. An EMANON hat. Now, I know what you're saying. I want one. You want one of these? Okay. Go check out Dan, I Allegedly. I will place a link in the description of this video. They're going to be, I believe, auctioning off two of these hats from the original batch, and the proceeds will go to a charity. And I love that. That's what EMANON is all about. You know, loving each other, caring about each other, being charitable, doing one good deed a day or even just one good deed a week. You know, everybody can contribute here for nothing. You know, you want to make a difference in the world? Here it is, EMANON. How do you join EMANON? Just say, I am committed to doing good. That's all. Just say it out loud right now. I am committed to doing good. And you're in. That's it. And you are an EMANON, like me, like Dan, like David as well. Anyway, a couple of other shout outs before I move forward. The guy that made these hats here, from Fully Promoted out here in Las Vegas, a DJ. I can't pronounce your last name. I am very sorry. But if you don't win the auction here, I know Dan's going to auction two of these hats off for charity on his channel. Again, link in the description of this video. I'm going to put this guy's information in the description of this video. So just call up DJ. Call him. Tell him to ship you an EMANON hat. All right? Get yourself a freaking EMANON hat, people. Anyway, this is great stuff. It really, really is. And I hope you know, commit yourself to doing good. And of course, there's going to be the usual detractors. Oh, there's something behind this. If you're doing good, you really can't be doing good because you're doing bad. You know, people are twisted, but that's okay. I think most of you get it here. All right, look, with that said, people, let's talk. So, here, let's cover the economic news. And just listen to this. I want you to hear about this. You're going to love this. So, we found out business spending falls. Business shipping falls. Okay. Manufacturing and factory activity also falling here. Lovely. But they want you to believe that gross domestic product is higher. Oh, we're doing great. Actually, if you were to strip out transportation, for example, those of us who don't buy jet planes, seriously, this number has cratered. Cratered. I don't think many of you out here are buying jets. I could be wrong, okay, but I don't think so. Anyway, with that said, you know, it's all a fallacy. You know, okay, oh, it's great, but they can't tell you the reality of the situation. What else is going on? Consumer spending falling. Bank deposits are evaporating. There's an issue we got to talk about here at one particular point. But again, they want you to believe GDP is up. You can't make this stuff up at all. Unemployment, the numbers for last week did come out up a little better than expected. And the other thing you're hearing now, and this is this morning, that inflation is topping. Now, let me back up a moment here. We've heard this before. Not only have you and I heard, well, inflation is temporary, inflation is transitory, it's topping out. This has got to be like the fifth time that the mainstream propaganda is pushing inflation is topping. We are not topping in any way, shape, or form. But again, You and I realize, we talked about this recently, they're going to start pushing this narrative. Inflation is topping. Inflation is slowing down. Now, here's something else that's kind of interesting here that I think that you would appreciate. So the European Central Bank, what do we know the European Central Bank, along with the Federal Reserve, has been doing? They've been raising rates, religiously now for many, many months with no effect at all. As inflation has been getting progressively worse. Duh! Can I get a duh hat too? Anyway, so the European Central Bank is going to continue to do what they've been doing, that is in raising rates here, and expecting a different outcome. Now, let's see. The big secret behind all this that you're well aware of is this is not a rate issue. Okay, but you're being sold a lie on an epic scale, being pushed by, of course, the propaganda ministry at the direction of central banks who run the entire show. Oh yeah, we're going to raise rates. Central banks raising rates. It's going to finally make a difference. No, it's not. Inflation is not topping. It's not going to stop. And on top of that, you're going to be sold the lie that, okay, central banks are going to raise rates, which, as you are well aware of, it's a way to destroy demand. These central banks figure if they crush the economy, destroy demand, and take the people down with it, somehow, by some miracle, this is going to slow inflation. No. It's not meant to do that. It's meant to crush demand. How can they do it? How can central banks actually do it? The silence is deafening, people. You know what I'm going to tell you here? If central banks just said, hey, major institutions, you big banks out here, raise your capital requirements, contract the money supply, overnight, we would see inflation drop. You won't hear about that. Oh, no. You see, that's the big secret. Because if in fact central banks contracted the money supply, which would obviously slow inflation dramatically, depending on how high they raise the capital requirements being held by the banks here, it would stop them or prevent them from inflating the money supply. And nothing is going to get in the way of central banks continuing to inflate the money supply. Nothing, okay? They don't care who they have to destroy, how many people they have to destroy. It would maybe be a good thing for the global economy, but no, you see, they're determined to crush it. Central banks are on a mission here, okay, to fulfill an end game. You all know this. I've covered it a million times. You will never, ever see a central banker wear an EMANON hat, okay? These people are out to destroy you. Do good. Their mission is very wicked, and I think we are all well aware of that, what they're doing, and you will not hear anything about this whatsoever. All you're going to hear from the mainstream propaganda is how central banks are really trying to get behind this. They really have your best interest in mind, believe me, because we're telling you. It's unbelievable. They dictate your freaking lives. Not you, me, because we don't pay any attention to that dog shit. But for the most part, listen to Jim Cramer because he's going to tell you the truth. Listen to Jerome Powell and President Imbecile. They're on your side too. How about no? It's just incredible. Anyway, so on the back of all this, I mean, it's just utterly amazing. So business spending falling, business shipping falling, manufacturing, factory activity falling off of a cliff, consumer spending falling, bank deposits dropping, but GDP's higher. I don't think so. Durable goods orders, that's part of the whole scheme here, like I said. Durable goods orders higher, but if you strip out transportation and jet planes, which you and I aren't buying any right now, I don't think. Durable goods orders are actually fell off of a cliff. But again, no one's going to tell you that. And this issue with the ECB, all right, could you imagine, when are people going to wake up? My European friends, I know you're much more awake than the people here in the United States who are media-influenced, mainstream media-influenced, brain-dead subjects who have become zombified, okay? But not so much my European friends, and I hear from you all the time. When are people going to wake up? When are people going to say, seriously, here in the United States and in Europe, hey, you know what? Central banks, you've been raising rates now for months. What's been happening? Oh, clearly we're not topping. Clearly this wasn't transitory or temporary. So why, you imbecile central bankers, why do you continue to do the same thing over and over again and expect a different outcome? Okay, that may be, it isn't actually, but it could be somehow, molded into the definition of insanity, doing the same thing over and over again and expecting a different outcome. You understand? On the back of all this, people, stock futures, the last time I looked at them, was higher across the board. You and I are going to keep our eyes on the debt market here. I am not convinced at all that, despite the fact that we've seen a major reversal here with regard to action in the debt market, we had a global sell-off of global debt. Then Nick the Pig comes out and Mary Daly comes out and all this reversed. Really, is that it? Is that all it took, in your opinion, to stop the global sell-off? I think this is just a Band-Aid effect. I really do. Unless real action is taken by central banks to stop the bleeding here, this is going to accelerate. It's going to anyway. You all know that. This is, look, a means to an end, however you want to put it here. The fact of the matter is this global debt market is going to implode. It's going to implode by design here. It's being hyperinflated by design by runaway central banks. And they're going to collapse the entire global economy and lock up the financial system in aggregate here. Forget all over the world. It's going to stop everything, okay? So they can issue in a new system. But you see, you're not supposed to know that either. If you can't see what's going on right now, if you've been with me for any length of time, then I don't know what to tell you. But this is exactly what's going on here. This whole thing is just so sick. It's so freaking out of control. So look, I'm not convinced at all that this debt market issue, the sell-off, is over with. So keep your eye on the 10-year yield. Keep your eye on the relative strength of the dollar here. Better yet, the MMRI, Mannarino Market Risk Indicator, which has cratered since Nick the Pig. We broke 300, going to extreme risk. Nick the Pig comes out. Mary Daly comes out, and all this just reversed. Really? Oh, how interesting. Let's see if it lasts. I am not convinced at all that it is going to last. But we'll see. We'll see. I mean, are they going to float out another freak to talk the market higher, to explain that come December, the Federal Reserve is going to pivot? Pivot or not, it's not going to stop what's coming. Pivot or not, it's not going to fix a damn thing. Global debt is going to continue to balloon out of control as central banks continue to inflate. Make it up. Make any of this stuff up. Anyway, as I said, I'm going to give the biggest shout out I possibly can to Dan from I Allegedly. And there is a link to Dan, I Allegedly, in the description of this video. Win yourself, or go. They're going to auction 2 of these hats off from the original batch, as this one is. So get yourself one of those. And if you want one of these, okay, let's look, I'm about helping people out. I'm going to put this guy's information in the description of this video. All right, call him up and tell him, say, I want a freaking EMANON hat, because I'm an EMANON. I am committed to doing good. You understand? All right, look. Love all you guys and girls. I mean that from the heart, all right? And I know in all of our hearts, we are all EMANONs, okay? EMANON, no name, spelled backwards. And I kind of like it. I love my little E here with the star. Look, I'm not a very creative guy. It's really the truth. And I'm proud of myself for this thing. I mean, hey, look, it's such an easy and simple concept, people. We can change the world. We can change the freaking world. If we can get more people to get hats like this, and who knows, maybe we'll have shirts or something along those lines. Just commit to doing good. I mean, come on, man. We can do this. All right, look, I'm so out of here. As I said, check the description of this video for Dan, I Allegedly, if you want to get yourself one of these hats as well. Anyway, with that said, people, look, I'll see all of you at the end of the day. and we will reconvene right here. And, well, that's all. Love you a lot. See you later.